Okay, good afternoon. We'll start the class today. So last class we were working with home tab. I think I have covered till all the options like conditional formatting, formatters table. Then we have completed autofill option, sorting, filtering. Okay, so sorting, filtering again you will be learning in detail after some session. Okay, so any doubts? Let us continue now for the today's batch. So today I'm going to continue uh, functions like built-in functions or formulas. So today's chapter starting with Excel formulas or functions. Okay, but these are all comes under functions. What we define is called formula. So today's topic, what are the built-in functions are there? Okay, so you can make a note of that. So here to work to manipulate your data, you can use Excel built-in functions. So the functions are in different category. So the functions based on text are called as text functions. Same way, the functions which work with numbers are called as mathematical functions. Then you have which is based on the logical test, which are those are all called as logical functions. Then working with the date and time functions. Then database functions. You have the category financial functions. Okay, so if you come to formula tab, you can observe there are different categories of functions. Okay, so you can see function library, but tab name is formula. Under that we have various functions which are categorized like financial, logical, text, date and time, lookup, and mathematical functions. So these are all the categories of functions are available. Today our chapter with these functions. Okay, so the first thing, any function or formula you're supposed to begin with I just copy this. Yeah, so any formula or function must begin with equal symbol. Okay, so that you don't forget, whenever we start writing any of the formulas or function, we should start with equal symbol. In that, the first thing we are going to work on text functions. Okay, so what is basically text? So text is the data with the sequence of alphabets, numbers, including spaces and special symbols. Let's say here an example, just I can represent, suppose in a cell, if I type here MS Office 2016 and in middle I'll add a hyphen. So now I can tell this is one text data which is included small alphabets, capital alphabets, then symbol, space and numbers. So together we call it as text data. Okay. Now we start, before starting your formulas or function, first let us start here the small thing. Suppose here I have MS. In next cell I have Excel. I want to combine together into one cell. So if I want to join the data in C88 plus the data in D88, what is there, like MS and Excel I want to combine together. So what I'm going to do, I just introduce AND operator. You can see now D88. So what I forget here, equal to C88 ampersand D88. You can observe now what's happened. It is combined. So what is the use of that ampersand symbol here? It is combining. So again, I'll include a space. How much space I want, I will combine again. You can see this. So first thing, it's not a function, it's just a basic formula. I'm just showing how do you combine data from, that is text from two cells into one cell. So what I referred here, equals C88 ampersand, then one in double quotes, one single space I have given, that is two space I have given, again ampersand, then I have given D88. So now you can see your data is combined and it is giving us a single text MS Excel. So here, what is the use of ampersand? Ampersand is for concatenating text. Okay, so please make a note of that, concatenate. So, or we can say joining two text. Okay, so concatenation is other it's some actual thing is joining two text. Okay, so here in this small user defined formula, I said equal C88 ampersand, one space, again another ampersand D8. So it is going to combine MS with space and Excel. Okay, fine. Now I define here MS Excel in one cell. I'll introduce some of the functions. I'll say first function as proper, then upper, then lower. So this is for changing the case. So equals, I'll say here proper, or just I'll write here upper of MS Excel. So MS Excel is in the cell address C93. So you can see now I started with equal symbol. Function name is upper. Upper is for converting to capital letters. All that given text will be converted to capital. So usually in the company, the data will be, when you are getting the real transaction data, the data might be in small letter or capital letter or extra spaces, everything might be there. So if I wanted to convert the full text into capital, then you can use upper within bracket one argument I have given, that is C93. C93 is cell address where MS Excel is stored. So now you can see the full, like what text I have given there, it is converted to capital letter. Or if I type here MS Office or just Microsoft, you can see it is converted to capital letter, because what I referred in the cell is C93. So C93 contains what? Microsoft. So that Microsoft is fully converted to capital. Same thing, I'll say here, lower. So this is another function. So as soon as you start typing, if you start the first few letter of the function, it is showing automatically the suggestion. You can see that now in the screen, converts all letter in a text string to lowercase. So it is going to convert the given data to small letter. So already Microsoft is in small only, but M and S is capital. In micro, first letter is capitalized. In soft, first letter is capitalized. So that also be converted to small letters. Okay, so completely you want to convert to small letters, use lowercase. Completely you want to convert it to capital letter, use uppercase. Then what is proper case? Proper case is first letter of every word. Okay, the first letter of every word will be converted to capital. For example, let me type here one small text. Excel is an spreadsheet. So I've written one small sentence. Now equals, I write here proper, then the cell address, I'll close, I'll say enter. So now you can identify this. So you can see, you can watch on the monitor, every first letter of that word, like in a sentence, first letter of every word, E and in is, A, S, P, everything is converted to capital. So when you are working with text, if your data, whatever input data you are getting for creating reports or for doing any formulas, calculations, presentation, okay, for anything it could be, if it is necessary, you can convert to capital letter, small letter, and another option is proper case. Proper case means first letter of every word will be capitalized. Okay, so this is proper case, this is uppercase and small. So for all these three function, I referred how equal symbol, function name is lower, and within parenthesis I have given the cell address. You can type directly the data, or you can give the cell which contains your data. So right now I'm in 93rd row, so C93. So it is automatically blocking and showing. You can observe this. So I've given E91. What is in E91? It is having Excel is an spreadsheet program. So that is after executing what result you are, that is after uh, expressing that command, you are getting this message. That means every first letter of this converted to capital letter. Okay, so the first text 3 function, it is working with cases, capital letter, small letter, and proper case. Okay, next. So it's to convert. So at the end of that, like after this week, at the end of that week, I'll be sending the notes. Okay, uh, or side by side you make a note of that, that is better. Okay, so anybody have doubts, you can ask me. I just started the first, like we started with text functions. It's basic function. So like this we are going to work on various function category. At the beginning of the introduction class itself, I said you, we have more than 400 functions in Excel. Okay. few minutes. Okay. Next. The function category trim. Okay. So this is for changing cases. So with the text change case means converting to small letter, capital letter, all these things comes under change case. Now trim. So trim is if I have a data, I type here, I've given a name with the unwanted space, extra space. Okay. For example, I give your so I want purposefully some spaces. So I'm doing all these things. So in a text, any unwanted spaces, it could be before the text or after the text or in the middle of the text. So here, if I say trim of, I have taken B100. So cell address is B100 right now, where I have written Kiran Kumar, where in that you can see text are having unwanted extra spaces. Now you enter. So what happened now? The all extra spaces are eliminated. You can observe this. Okay. Now, same thing. I use here trim of this here where I have given spaces after the name I have given, that will also be eliminated. So once you write for first cell, if you double click, automatically the same formula will be filled for subsequent cells. Right now I'm dragging. So middle, I have given extra space between Jagan and Karthik. I have given lot of space that is eliminated. So any unwanted space can be eliminated from a text. So that space could be either before the text or after the text or middle of your text. Minimum one space. More than that, anything is there extra will automatically eliminated. Okay. So when you are importing data from database or from web application or when the user data entry form, when you bring the data to Excel, so your data will not be, sometimes it will not be in proper order, or the what I said, the unwanted space will be there. In case that extra space you wanted to eliminate with text, then you can use trim. Okay, sorry, trim. So this does not work with mathematical functions. Okay. So let us move on to next function. So the basic thing first is what I've done, proper uppercase, lowercase, that is for changing given text into small letter, capital letter. Upper means capital letter, lower means small letter, proper means first word letter of every word. Okay, will be converted to capital. You can see in Excel is a spreadsheet program. Exactly first letter of every word is changed to capital. So your source data is here. This is where I have written this data. I used as a reference for this formula. So it has converted and written that result to the current cell. Okay. So here in which cell you are writing, on that to that cell, the output will be written back. That means the function result you will get back. Okay. Now, next I'm going to show you extracting the characters. Here, the function name we have left then right, then mid. There are three functions for extracting specific part of the text. Let's say here equal. So before that, I give a data at the top of the cell where I give MS Excel 2016. Okay. Now is equal to left of this cell address. So in this, I want first two letters. From left side of the text, extracting first two letters. You can see now it is extracting only MS. Next, I wanted to extract from right side. So the same data, comma, from right side of the text, how many? Suppose I want to extract the year 2016. So I want right side 4 characters. So you can see now only 2016 is extracted. Then mid means middle of the string. It's not left, not right, anywhere. It could be from starting, it could be from ending, or it could be from middle. So in your text, anywhere you wanted to extract the data, you can use mid, MID, then text, comma. What is the starting? How many, like for example, I want exactly from 4th place, then next 5 characters. So you can see 4 comma 5. From the text, I wanted to get 4. That means the cell address D105. From this, from 4th place exactly E, that means Excel, that text I'm extracting. So this is for extraction purpose. Left, right, and mid. Left is how it is working. From left side of the text you can extract. Right is for extracting from right side, and mid is for any position. If you say from 1, if you say from 10, from there, how many characters? It's not only exactly 5 characters. So you want, suppose I want only 3 character, you can give. So now it is just extracted EXC, only 3 letters we said now. Okay. So this is for extracting characters from text. Any doubts? So I just ask you randomly one question. Any one of you can answer. Afreen, are you there? If you are there, answer my question in the chat box, or you can unmute and talk to me. What is the use of ampersand operator in working with text? Afreen, can you message me? Are you there? So who are listening, you can answer my question. My question is, what is the use of ampersand? So what is the use of ampersand symbol with text? Who are all listening, who are all attending from beginning, give me a message in the chat box if you know. Any of you. See the question, what is the use of ampersand symbol with text? Any one of you who's attending from beginning, if you are listening, you message me in the text box. Who's at any one of you? Shaik, Shubham, Yukta, Afreen is not answering. Chandan, Ramya, Chaitra. Anyone? My question is, what is the use of ampersand symbol? Nobody is answering. Separates the last and second two last author. No. Yeah. Yeah, Ritik, you can answer. Ritik, you can text me or you can unmute and tell me. Yeah. It's used to. Yes, combine the word. Yeah. So here, ampersand is for the purpose of ampersand. I said here, if I have two text, for example, the simple example I can tell, in one cell I have Excel, in another I have Access. For some reason I wanted to combine them. What I'm going to do? Equal first cell ampersand second cell. Second cell which where my data is there. Now you can see what is the answer. It's combining, joining two text. For that, what we use is called ampersand. So here, when I'm joining, both are it's very there is no space between that. If that is the requirement, you can keep it. Or if I want space between them, then one single space, then I can combine. So now I'm combining three text. One is E99, then one space, then E100. So three things I'm combining now. So I'm getting the result. Okay. So just I want to are you listening or you're understanding? For that purpose, I asked you. So these are all the functions, the basic function. In that, one more function I should say, length. See, for example, if I say length of one text, I type directly Excel. So now I can get length. Length means number of characters, including spaces, alphabets, symbols. Okay. Now you can see it's showing me 5. So Excel, that word consists of 5 letters. Now I'll type here one data, Excel 2016. So now in this, how many characters or how many letters are there? So length of B12. So you can see it will calculate and give you including space. So totally 10 characters are there. Okay. So length function. And before we have seen how to extract. So left, right, and mid. Before we have seen how to eliminate unwanted spaces from text. And before we have seen how to convert to capital letter, small letter, and proper case. Okay. Like this. You can see in my list, there are some functions. So these are all basic functions, like commonly used function. In this also, some advanced functions also there. First, we will see at least we should know to go further. Okay. So mid, we have seen concatenate, proper, upper, lower, left, right. So I should tell you repeat, exact, search and find. Okay. So these function will see. So you can make a note in your book. Okay. So these are all the function, the basic text functions. commonly used in all kind of organization. If you go for job, commonly it will be used work with text. Okay, so in that, mid, concatenate, proper, upper, lower, left, right, this already we have seen. Length also. So now I am going to explain repeat, exact, search and find. Okay, so now we'll see. I'll switch off the formula mode. Okay, what is repeat here? Just the same text can be repeated for specific number of times. Let's say here I just write here NICT, one space. Okay, expansion is also coming. Okay, I just put one star for 20 times. You can see that star is printed for 20 times. So repeated, it's just repeating what I'm giving. What is my data? Then how many times I want, if I mention. So two arguments for, so this is called arguments. What I'm giving, one text. It could be any text. Okay. For example, anything. It could be single letter, multiple letter, or a word. And how many times, comma, number of times. If I say 10, it is going to repeat for 10 times. So EX is repeated for 10 times. So sometimes you want to repeat a text for many times in a cell. Then you can use REPT, repeat. Okay, REPT. Then I'll say here Bangalore for 5 times. So the text will be repeated for 5 times. If you want, along with space, when you are writing itself, give one single space. Now that word, okay, spelling mistake is there, so which we can correct it. Okay, so it's for repeating. Okay, next, what is that find? So I'm writing a spreadsheet program. I say here find of. So what do you want to find? I want to find the word called sheet within text. So within text, so in B120, I wanted to check whether the word sheet is there or not. So by seeing that, you can only tell it is there. If it is there, it tells you exactly from which position it is starting. You can see it's showing like 7. So if you start counting from S, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7th place, S is starting. That means sheet is starting. Once again, I'll show you. So I expected sheet. For example, I give some other word, Excel. You know that in B20, there is no word called Excel, correct? So what it will return now? Hash value. So first time you are seeing your hash value. What is that? Null value. When a function or a formula, after the evaluation, if it could not give the result, then it returns hash value. So this is the formula which returns result, the result as error. You can see there is a comment in this, error in value. Why error? You can ignore it, or you can see the like we only know that if the searching text not found in the formula, this it not found in the text, automatically it returns error. Okay, so you can make a note, one of the error value hash. So this is has to be note that you have to note down, because future, like in a when you are in a company or later point of your class, if this error is happened, what I want to take decision, what alternative I can write. So at that time, hash value, what is hash value? Hash this symbol is hash symbol value, and it is an error of the formula when it is returning when the searching text not found. So particularly with find function, there are few, not all the function, only this kind of searching functions may return this type of errors. Okay, so find is one of the searching function. What I'm asking you to search here, Excel, that word I want to search within this text, it is not there, so I'm getting. Suppose I write here program, so we only know that program word is there, so I'll get 13. So it is present in the index 13 or the position 13. Okay, same way. So this is previous function is find. Similar to that, one more function is there, that is called search. This is also more or less resembles find only. What do you want to find? Same, I'll say your sheet. Then within this text, so now this also will return the position, but only difference is if you give a text which is not there, I'll give some other text, access. We know that in this there is no word called access, so this also it's returning error. So both of the function will return error if the data not found. So once you are starting only, you can see return the number of characters at which specific character string is found. So reading left to right, it's not case sensitive. So only thing is it's not case sensitive, but find is case sensitive. I'll tell you. I write here sheet in capital letter. So there sheet is in small letter. So now this is not case sensitive, whereas this is case sensitive. How do I prove here? I just change at least one letter to capital. Capital P I'm changing. So there small program contains small letters, but here one letter I change to capital. So now it becomes error in this formula. Actually program word is found in the text, but still this is the sources small p. What we are searching is in capital. So you can see this, or any one of the letter purposefully I'm changing to capital. Now also it will say error. So it is case sensitive. Case sensitive means it compares exactly with small letters and capital letters. Whereas this function, that means search function, is not case sensitive. Here I have given capital sheet, where the searching location, it is only small letter. Then also I'm getting result because it is not case sensitive. Getting? So both are for, I wanted to search, I have a clue of that particular data. I want to search whether it is there or not. If it is fine, I want to get it, or I wanted to do some action, so that we will see later. If I want to search for the text within one text, if it is fine, I will get the index position. That means I'll get it is present in exactly the length of that position 1 2 3. It will be counting from left side, so that position I will get, where both the function is for searching purpose, search and find. Okay, both are for to search specific text. Okay, where which function is case sensitive? Find is case sensitive. Okay, so find is case sensitive, whereas search is not case sensitive. But both of them will return hash value returns hash value when searching text not found in the source text. Okay, so these are all the functions I wanted to show you. So I just give a list. When you are practicing, you can go through this. So the first function is left, then right, then mid. Then we have seen the function called len. Then we have seen proper, upper, lower. Then we have seen repeat function. Then just now we have seen find and search. Then what else we have seen? Trim function we have seen. Then what is the use of ampersand with text? We have seen it's not a function, but it is an operator or a symbol operator to combine multiple text. So why I said multiple text means, example, if I have a data, here I have one data, in this cell I have another data, in this cell I have another data. So I will only give one single space in every text. If I have here some number, now the cell address ampersand, the cell address, you can see it becomes one cell. Everything is combined into one. So whenever you want to combine together, you can use ampersand. Is it clear? So this all about text function. I think I covered all of them. Search. Okay. One more function is exact. Exact is, you can see here, I said an exact NICT. In this, N is small capital, but ICT is small. In the another second one, second argument, all of them are capital. So it compares exactly. If everything is ditto, equal, then it says true or it says false. Right now, in this, ICT is not small. It's in small. So if I, that is also is capital. Now exactly same, then it returns true. So if you want to compare both text and you wanted to get the result, after the comparison, it says true or false. True means both the text exactly same. If everything like alphabets, it should be capital, means both the sides should be capital, or small means small, number means number, space, everything will be compared and says true or false. So last function is exact. Okay, so these are all about text function. Any doubts? Aisha's messaged. Okay. Anybody have doubts with this text function? Any doubts, Path? Shall we go to next function? Okay, there is no, you are not answering, I don't know. Chaitra, any doubts? Mithun Kumar, Abhijit, do you have any doubts? Okay, so these are all about text. Next, we will work with if function, that is logical functions. So the next category is here, logical functions. Under logical functions, you are going to learn if, and, or, and not. So this basically it is for testing. You will check the conditions. If the condition is true, then what do you want to take, or what do you want to write, or if the condition is false, what do you wanted to perform. So based on logical test. So the functions based on logical test. So it's or based on criteria, or we can say conditions. Okay, so you can see in my book here, my first example, like before starting if and or, you see here equals. In one cell I have 1200, another cell I have 900. So I'm going to check C5. I want to compare C5 is greater than D5. So by seeing that, you can only tell yes, 1200 is less than 900. So once I express, this is one small logical test. So it is returning what? True or false. So this is, we call it as criteria or logical test or condition. So I checked here C5 is greater than D5. So based on the value, it is evaluated and it is returning true. Okay. Now, if true, I wanted to write 1 or 0. What I'm going to do, I'll start with if. You can see in if, in the syntax, it's showing logical test, value of true, value of false. What is your logical test now? C5 is greater than D5. Yes, it is true. If true means write 1 or 0. You can see now, if, within if, first argument is what? Test. What do you want to test? C5, you are expecting C5 should be greater than D5. Yes means write 1 or 0. So we are getting now 1 because the condition is true. You try to change the value over there, then it will be changing. For example, this side I'll make it less. I'll put it 800 over here. Now it's saying what? 0, because 800 is not greater than. So what you are expecting here? See the condition now. C5 means the cell which contains 800, D5 900. So 800 greater than 900 you are expressed. So it is verified, it is not true. So I got false. Same way in this function also, C5 greater than D5 means if true, value if true, test is true means 1, test is false means 0. Now according to this current value, test is false, so 0, because if I put it now less than 800, where? In this place. Now you can see it becomes true. Now if the condition is true, I wanted to write pass or fail. So how do I write? If C5 greater than D5, so it's an example. Like this, you can give any sort of conditions. So just an example, how first you should understand how do you give a criteria. If this criteria is true, what I wanted to write, It could be a number, it could be a text. So I'm writing a text, pass or fail. So first you have to observe how the function is starting. What is the first argument? Logical test means what is test we are giving. If true, then what I'm writing. False means what I'm writing. How we are ending with a function. So that you have to observe. Now it's written pass. Same thing. If the condition is true, I wanted to write it as capital letter pass or capital letter in a uppercase fail. So first what I did, I'm given the example that if the test is satisfied, then writing the value 1 or 0. Second example, if the condition is satisfied, I want to write the text pass or fail. Third, if the condition is true, I wanted to write the text in capital or small letter. That means I want to introduce their uppercase. So how do I am doing here? Equal to, if I'll write the same example, C5 is greater than D5. So simple condition. If true, then I wanted to write upper of, see already I have your text, upper of G1, else upper of G2. This is also possible. If test is true, I want to write another function. You're getting? So I'm writing upper formula inside if statement. This is also like this. Anything you can do. If the condition is satisfied, I wanted to write another function. I wanted to write n number of function, nested functions. It is possible. Okay. If you write one function within another, it is called nested function. So now I have written upper function inside if statement. I wanted to show you purposefully that if the condition, after verifying the condition, if condition is true, I want to write one formula. That means I want to write a function. So in the previous example, we have written directly the constant, like directly pass or fail. You're getting? In this example, directly we are writing 1 or 0. So if it is a numeric value, you are not enclosing by double quotes. You observe that changes 1 and 0 when I'm writing, there is no double quotes. But when I'm writing pass or fail, I'm written with double quotes. Means whenever you're writing text, you should give in double quotes. So within a formula, when you are expressing a text, it should enclosed within double quotes. This please make a note in your book. So any text when you are writing inside the formula or function, it should be enclosed within double quotes. If it is a numeric value, you can directly represent. Okay. So in this case, the example pass or fail I have written, where it is pass is text, fail is also text. So it should be enclosed within double quotes. Okay. So make a note in your book. The fourth example is when we are writing, if condition is true, I want to write upper of G1. So G1 is pass, else upper of G2, G2 is fail. So same pass or fail only I'm writing. Only change, I'm converting and writing. I want to introduce you within if I can write another formula. So later on, like this, you can add n number of formulas inside as per your requirement. Suppose I wanted to write not pass or fail. I wanted to write yes or no. Equal if statement C5 greater than D5. So this 2 cell 800 is greater than 700. Yes, it is true. True means I wanted to write directly capital S or directly small. So when you are writing directly that constant, you can mention yes or no. Same way, Another, I will write one more formula in this. If C5 greater than D5, then I wanted to add C5 plus D5, else it should be 0. So if condition is true, I wanted to add two numbers, else it should return 0. For example, I change to 600. Purposefully, I will change here to lesser than 700. So now everything, the result has got changed. Even this formula result, it also result into 0. Can observe. So 600 greater than 700 false. False means what is the third argument? 0. So there are three arguments in the if: logical test, value if true, value if false. So I just write here separately that function syntax. It starts with the if statement, that means if keyword. Then first argument is logical test. Second argument, value if true. What you wanted to write if the condition is true. Third argument, value if false. So first what we write is logical test. Second is value if true. And the third is value if false. So logical test, value if true, value if false. So first argument, second argument, third argument. Now, as per the changes, I will change the value. Now the result is also changed. Now I wanted to work with date. Okay, so if C5 greater than D5, value if true, I wanted to get system date, today's date. So today is a function which gives system date. What is in your system, the current date will be written, else today date plus 10 days. So right now in my system, my date is like current date only 2/17, that is February 17th. So condition is true. So it's why it's giving number. We can change to what? Short date. You can see the changes now. It has given today's date. Condition is true. See the formula, C5 greater than D5, comma today. Today means system date. System date is what? 17th February. Else 17th February plus 10. Maybe exactly 17 plus 10, 27th. When it will come 27th here? When the condition is false. I'll change to 699. Now you see it's become 27 because condition is false. If condition is true, even one value is more than the total result. So you can observe I changed to formula mode. I'll change now. You can see the difference. Condition is same, but what are the ways you can express? You can give a number, you can give a text. Instead of that, you can write same functions, or you can write capital directly yes or no. You can write, if it is true, you can write one small formula. If it is true, you can write one function. So these are all different example. When after evaluating, after doing one logical test, how you can give back the result. The result can be in what are the ways you will get back. as a numerical value, as a text value, as a result of formula, or the result of function. Okay, so this you can note down. After logical test, what are the ways we can return back the value, or we can write the result how? Okay, so this is a basic example, and I compared this two value, that is 700, like what is in C5 and D5. So if the value, if it is 800 and 700, then condition will be true. Then condition true means all the first part, that means in the logical test value is true, value is false. So that all first, after condition, after the criteria, comma, the first result get executed. If the condition is false, it execute the second argument. That means after true, value if true, third argument is value if false, it gets executed. Okay, so go through this. 5 minutes we'll take break, then we'll continue. Okay, so take 5 minutes break, then you can continue. Okay, we'll continue. Okay, so any doubts you can ask me. Anybody have doubts? If you respond, I'll be happy. Please respond for my question. Any doubts? Okay, now I'll, in the logical function itself, we see some other examples. So for you, like many any kind of company, particularly sales, marketing, finance, in all these field, compulsorily they use if functions, VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, date and time functions, text functions, and financial functions. Okay, so in this, for all other thing, the most important, and you should be aware of this logical functions. Okay, so which is based on condition, and you can express with whatever test you wanted to check, and based on that you can take any action. So here, when you are giving the conditions, we can use these relational operators. So at the beginning of the class, I introduced these operators, so which are called as relational operators: greater than or equal, less than or equal, then not equal is less than, greater than, together. This is not equal symbol. Okay, then last is equal to. So in this, in our example, we just worked on so far only greater than symbol. Okay, now you can see the next example with logical function. My criterias are here. Here some student names I have mentioned, marks. In condition, I have given above 60 is distinction, above 40 pass, less than 40 I wanted to write it as fail. So you can see I mentioned here equal to if E6 greater than 60. So it's up to 60 it won't consider. From 61 greater than 60 distinction. Else what is the next condition? If greater than 40 pass or fail. Now you can check here. For the first student, the result is given as pass. So after writing for first, if you double click on this autofill option, autofill handler, automatically it fill the values. So now why for this particular record we got result as distinction? Because the marks are is 90. So E8 greater than 60. So 90 is greater than 60. Yes, true. True means what it should come? Distinction. Suppose if it is not true, then what I wanted to write, I'm checking another if statement. So writing one if statement within another if. So we are written if test. I'll just show you is equal to if, then you have given the test, then condition is true means what you wanted to write, that is true part. Then in false part, again I mentioned one more if, then again I have given a test, then in this I have given true part and false part. So you can see now one if statement is written within another if, that is called nested if. So you can see that nested if. So these are all examples for nested if statement. So how do we write here? Equals if the cell address, that means E6 greater than 60, means I would like to write distinction. Else if, what do you want to write? E6 greater than 40 means pass. Else I wanted to write it as fail. Like this I have written. If you enter, I'll get the result. Based on the value, it compares and write the values. So 60, 61 onwards, it is distinction. Up to 60, 42 greater than 40, 41 to 60 is pass. Below 40, any range. Even if you write 40 also, it will be fail, because 40 greater than 40 we have mentioned. Greater than 40 means from 41. 41 to 60 is pass. 61 onwards is distinction. Below 40 is fail. Okay, so make a note of this. Example for nested if. Here this is my criteria. If greater than 60, I wanted to write the message as distinction, or else I just want to write pass or fail. Pass condition is greater than 40, fail condition is less than 40. So the criteria as per our requirement we can alter, and what we wanted to give back. If the criteria is satisfied, what do you want to write? If criteria is not satisfied, what do you want to write? That is user choice. So here I have taken distinction, pass and fail. Okay. Now to that next extension, I wanted to say here greater than 40 is pass. You can see the second another criteria. Greater than 40 is pass. Then greater than 60 is distinction, less than 40 is fail. But if it is above 100, the marks is above 100 means I wanted to mention as invalid. So now instead of 3 choice, how many choice I have taken? 4 choices. So now how do we write here? So this is the criteria you can observe. When the mark is less than 40 fail, greater than 40 pass, greater than 60 distinction, but if it is more than 100, you should say invalid. So I'll write here the name of the students, then marks, then next cell average. Enter few list of names. Okay. Now marks we will enter. The first mark I'll give it as 120. Second I'll give 70. And third I'll give 40. Then fourth I'll give minus mark, negative mark. Now result column. How do I get that? How do I write the formula? You can observe equals. If I have to check, it should not be greater than 100. So two condition I have to monitor every time. So and the marks column is, it is O5. Okay, so my cell address currently where I've written is column O and 5. So that's why I've given it's not 0 O5. If it is less than or equal to greater than 60 and O5 less than or equal to 100, then 60 to 100, what I should write? Distinction. Else if, you can check now, and O5 greater than 40, comma, okay, same condition I'll mention, less than or equal to 60, then we'll write pass. Else if and O5, if I miss one parenthesis, comma, everything, it will be considered, it will show syntax error. So O5 less than or equal to 40 plus O5, it should be greater than or equal to 0. Then I have to write fail. In all other case, I have to give invalid. So 120 is invalid, correct? So within 100, mark should be within 100. In that, I have to find out pass or fail. For example, I add one more student. So here I'll give 30, where I should get fail, because it is valid mark, but it is not below 0 or above 100. So I'm getting all the result: pass, fail, distinction, and invalid also. So now you can see this is nested if, and I used AND function. What is this AND function suddenly I introduced here? If you observe here, AND is for to compare more than one argument. That means more than one condition, and if all the conditions are satisfied, then it can return true, or any one fails also, it returns fail. Let's say here, the small example, I give here 2 marks. In this, I will compare, and the first test, I'll ask here greater than 50. Second test, again, I'll ask here greater than 50. Now you observe both are not greater than 50. Now what is the result? It says false. Or 1, if you change to greater than 50 also, it will be false. Still it will be false. So what is the use of AND? You can check more than one condition. You can give any number of logical conditions inside and it will verify all the conditions are true. Then it returns true, else it returns false. So right now, K2 greater than 50 means false. K2 is what? 12. So 12 is not greater than 50. So it is false. So if any one of the condition, any one of the logical test is not satisfied, it returns false. Now, if both are, I mentioned above whatever, like we are given the condition is above 50. So now, if you see here, both the test K2 greater than 50, yes, 88 is greater than 50. L2 67 is greater than 50. Now it is true. So you are getting here true. So what is the use of AND function? I just mentioned here. And here condition, you can, whatever condition you wanted to test, you can give. So like this, you can give n number of conditions. So it tests all the given conditions. And returns true if all the conditions are satisfied. It returns false if any one of the conditions any one of the condition is not satisfied. So in any of the case, I have to test multiple conditions. If all the conditions are true, then I have to execute the true part. If any one fails also, any one of the condition is not satisfied, then it should write the false part. So here, similarly, instead of AND, OR. Okay. So in OR, at least any one is true means it returns true. Okay. So this function returns true when any one of the condition is true. Else it returns, or we can say it returns false if any one of the condition is not satisfied. So which gives false when any one of the condition is false. Okay, so you can see that example now again. So it's a bigger one, but it's very simple only if you understand the logic. So you can observe this O5 where the marks cell address greater than 60 and less than 100, I want distinction. Greater than 40, less than 60, I want pass. Less than 40 and greater than 0. So 0 to between 0 to, that means 0 to 40 fail. 40 to 41 to 60 pass. Above 60 to 100 distinction. If it is below 0 or above 100, I wanted to get what? Invalid. So the last choice is invalid. So based on that, I got here all the results based on the marks. Why minus? Because minus 78 is not in any of this range. It is not 60 to 800. It's not in 40 to 60. It is not in 0 to 40. It's below 40 or below 0. So you are getting invalid. Okay, so whenever you use and, it should satisfy both the condition, then only that result will be written. So when it's comparing here, how I got distinction here, what is the distinction criteria? Greater than 60, you can see here 70 is greater than 60 and 70 is within 100. So you are getting distinction. So both the condition must be satisfied, then only the and will return true. If true, what you want to write, else it'll go for another. So to combine more than one condition or to evaluate multiple conditions, based on that you want to take true or false, or you want to write true part or false part, then you can use if, with, and. Okay, so these are all with marks and other thing. Similarly, you have with like this kind of text. We can see the first example. If I have a order number, progress and status. If or B2 is delivered or comma B2 is paid, either it should be delivered or paid, then the order number is closed, else order is still opened. So delivered means it should get closed, either delivered or paid. Now I change any one of the thing to paid. Okay, so order is closed. When it will be opened, apart from this two text, means apart from this two condition, if it is not delivered, if it is not paid, then I will get my order status as opened. So in transit, cancelled, so all comes under opened. You can see wherever I give transit, paid means closed, delivered is also closed. Apart from all other, it is opened. In transit also opened. Or you can give more than one condition, where if any one is true, then it goes for true part. If any one is fail, so first or it will evaluate the whole, it should return true. If true means closed, if not true means opened. So in, say, similar to and, R is also to mention multiple condition, where in R, either one of the condition is true means it is evaluated to true. It will go for true part. If none of them is not satisfied, then it will go to false part. Okay, now you can see the another example. This is also based on R, but if this is satisfied, I'll write closed, or I will make it empty. You can see in the status for those role it is empty because their data, that means this data is not delivered or paid, so it's in transit. So it's giving the status as empty, it's not closed. So I can easily understand these are all not, the status is not closed, so still order is pending. Now another example with R, you can see if any one of the data is empty, then I'll say incomplete. Either order number column or quantity column or date column. If any one is empty, then, so what is this double quotes? I'm checking. If I use just double quotes, I'm checking. See, I'll write here a number. I'll check here. Just this value is equal to empty, false. But if I make it delete this, then true. Why it's coming as true? Because what I referred, that cell is empty. There is no data in it. So to how to compare the it is empty, equal to H2 is equal to empty. So that is double quotes, no space, just open double quotes, and if I open and close, this means no data in that cell. So here you can see this, how we are express the condition. Any one of the cell is empty, then incomplete, else no data. That means give it back empty. So in this one cell is empty, so I'm getting incomplete. Here also one is empty. Here second cell is empty, so incomplete. In this row, all the three cells are having value, so it is empty. So if in among the three, any one of the cell is empty, then I will get incomplete process. If all the rows are, that means all the columns of that row is filled, means my remark will be empty. So like this, you can work with the different criteria. So, or when I can introduce either one of the condition, I have to evaluate as true, then my result will be true, or my expression will be evaluated as true. In AND, all the condition must satisfy. So when you are writing logical formulas, if they are telling satisfy, if all the conditions are satisfied, then calculate this percentage, or give this much bonus, or write pass or fail. Then all, if they say more than one condition, you use either and or. And is all the condition must be satisfied. In R, either one of the condition is satisfied, then it will be true. That means it will go for true part. Okay. So to make you understand, I just write here equal to R. First condition, I'm checking greater than 60. Second condition, greater than 60. Then third condition, greater than 60. So it will evaluate all the three. You can see in one cell, that is one cell is above 60, 70, that means the I16 is above 60, so it returns true. If I do the same thing with AND, first condition and second condition and third condition. So all the three conditions In this, only one is satisfying, other two are not satisfying. 1256 is not greater than 60, so it returns overall false. Whereas in OR, either one is true means it returns true. Okay. So and or if, these examples we have seen. So only thing, as soon as just when I'm explaining, you can make a note, like just only one row if you note down, and the same thing you can practice. And from this point, compulsorily you have to do practice, then only you will understand. Okay. So this is about logical functions. Next, the simple function, that is working with the date and time. So here there are functions which returns system date and time, that is now, today. From the date, I want to get only month portion, or only year I want to extract, only the day, or only I wanted to get hour, minute, second. Then you can see here network days also. So example, you can see here, I'll show formula. So I used here in these cells now, today. So what is the result of now? It is just getting system date and time. So equal to now, no arguments, open parenthesis and close parenthesis. Enter. You will get system date and time. Only time means one second. So for this, shortcut keys are control colon control semicolon is date, only date. Control shift colon, only time. But now is for both date and time. Same way, for only system date, we use today. Today is a function which returns system date. What is in your system calendar, the same thing will be given. So for today also, no arguments. So arguments means when I'm writing a function, if I say sum, I pass inside the arguments. So for finding sum, I should use some, at least one or two numbers I should give. So that is called as arguments. If I say here length, so length of your text. So something I should type, then that is called arguments. It could be a cell address, it could be the another formula, or it could be a direct constant. But here for these functions, now, today, there is no argument. Wherever you enter equal to now of. So start with any formula or function, equal symbol, now or today, equals now, open parenthesis, close parenthesis, you will get system date and time. Like this, I wanted to get from this only month. So today, from this date, month is 2. From this date, only I wanted to get day. So 17th, I'm extracting only day. I can extract only the year. So from the date, you wanted to extract only month or date or year or hour, separately minutes or seconds, you can extract. So you can see here, similarly, I used here hour, minute, seconds. So same way, I use here network days. What is this network days? Here, between two dates, how many days are elapsed? That you can find out. So starting date and ending date. So G1, G2. So between this, how many days? Including it will subtract Saturdays and Sundays. Okay, so it will take only weekdays. All the weekends will be subtracted. So from this 1 to 20, so total number of working days are 14. It just find out number of working days. You can see in the syntax network days, starting date, ending date, and if you have any special holidays in this month, that you can give extra. Anybody have doubts? Anybody have doubts? You can ask me. Nobody have doubts? Anikesh, Abhijit, Aisha, Chaitra, Danush, Mithun. No doubts? Any doubts anybody have? You can ask me. Yukta, Chandana. Anikesh, should you have doubt? Okay, we'll continue. So we were in networking days. You wanted to find out between 2 days, how many working days are there. So it will automatically subtract Saturdays and Sundays and extra holidays, any special holidays you have, that how many days in this month I have 2 holidays means it's a public holiday or any national holidays that you can mention. Okay, so starting date, ending date, if you give, automatically it will give working days by subtracting all Saturdays and Sundays between the 2 dates. Okay. And the last function with the date and time is, you have here the function name is called weekday. So we are in the, like in this week, which should like weekday number. So now starting from Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So here it is 4. So according to today's date, in the weekday, we are in 4th day. Okay. So these are all the functions what commonly used, or it's regardless of any kind of process, we may use these. Function names are now, today, month, year, day, hour, minute, seconds, network days, weekdays. So these are all comes under date and time functions. So you have still much more. So the basic functions I have covered. Okay. So days 360, network days I have covered. Similarly, networks 360 is there. So it will, based on the leap year, it will calculate. Okay. Fine. And again, the basic mathematical functions like finding power. Like if for example, in mathematical function, you have absolute, power, cos, including the trigonometry functions are combined. So like sine, cos, tan, LCM, logarithm. Uh, Same way in the cos itself, arc, cosine, arc, tan. Similarly, we have So in the mathematical function, it includes trigonometry function also. First, I have given basic function here. So you can see power of base and the exponent 2 to the power of 3. So you will be getting a result as 8. So you can give for any two numbers, which first one is base argument, second one is exponent. Then same way, factorial. So factorial means multiplication of the numbers from 1 to given n. So 1 into 2 into 3 into 4. That result is 24. So factorial, which is statistical function as well. So when we work on statistics, factorial value will be you calculating. So to find factorial, I can use. Then modulus. To from the division, I want to get a remainder value 10 by 3. So remainder 3 3s are 9. Remainder will be 1. So the result I have written right side. Then from a result, I wanted to get only integer. Integer means whole numbers without decimals. So you can see here it is removed 565 and it is given only 2323. So that is only integer portion of that number. Decimals are automatically ignored. For that I use int. Then logarithm of 12, exponent of 10. Then I can get pi r squared in that 22 by 7 pi value. This is like it just like it returns just pi value 3.141. Okay. Then when you are calculating, you wanted to round off. So integer is int is from a expression. I wanted to extract only integer portion. So in this case, if you see here, integer of 2323.565, in that only 2323 will be extracted. Okay. Similarly, floor function is also for rounding, round off. Okay. Where round down is there, round off is there. Round down means it will reduce, it will not round up. 5 and above 5 will not be round up. Okay. Round is for it will round off exactly 5 and more than 5 will be automatically extended. So for example, in round off, I have given 3.14567 comma 2. But the second values, I want only 2 decimals, but it's 4 only. So we get only 3.1. And in the floor, next multiples of 12 within that. Okay. So if I say 125, so within 125, so the multiples, if you see, if I give 5, it says multiples of 5 within 125, what you will get, only that you will, that is your result. I'll show you the output. Then round off, exactly for round off to the next nearest number, you can use round. Okay. Then Roman letter, you will get exactly the Roman letters. So I'll make it show formula off. Now you can see the result of the values. So for all the function, what is the value of cos, sine, tan, power, factorial, modulus, integer, logarithm, exponent, pi. So, and these are all rounding of function, floor and round. So here I have given one small example. How do you find compound interest? So in this formula, compound interest is P into 1 plus R by 100 whole to the power of N. So principal amount is 45,000. Rate of interest is 4.3, that is K12. Then year is 4. So the formula is evaluated like this. Principal amount into 1 plus R by 100 whole to the power of N. This is the formula. So where R by 100. So if I want to express this formula, how I have written, you see here. So P into, so 45 is I12. I12 into this whole, this is base, this is power. Power of 1 plus k12 by 100 whole to the power of j12. So I used here power function for base and exponent. Okay, so these are all mathematical functions: cos, sine, tan, power, factorial. Okay, so go through these functions. So we just covered text function, mathematical function, logical function, date and time functions. So next class we will see lookup functions. So these are all important. It will help you more when you go for a job. Okay, and assignments also will give based on functions only. And so far I have not get any mail. Only few students have sent mail, Ramya and one more student. So I got mail from them that what they have practiced they have sent to me, but till now all other people are keeping quiet. I don't know. Are you really interested for doing practical and attending class? You can message me that you can send to my mail ID what you have practiced in your system. At least I can see what you understood, what you are able to do. Okay, any doubts you can ask. Anybody have doubts you can ask me. That's it for today's class. We will wind up. Next class will work on VLOOKUP functions, lookup functions, index, match. Is it fine? We'll complete today. Any one of you, at least say yes or no. Vishnu, Alfia. Okay, I'm completing. Okay, we'll see you on next Monday. Yeah, thank you. So I'm ending the meeting. Okay.